Hey everybody, Sean here, and welcome to Revealing Truth. And special thanks to Dave Murphy for sharing this. This is the conference that just happened with some of the usual suspects as speakers. My question is, why are so many people still showing up to these events even after these deceivers have been exposed over and over again, especially as of recent? We're talking about Kris Vallotton, people. Come on. He's the guy that says false prophecy doesn't make you a false prophet. I'm sorry, Kris, but God would differ. He's another liar that says Jesus walked into his bathroom. He agrees with the little gods heresy. He says the gospel isn't about salvation. Gospel means good news. There isn't any better news than salvation through Christ. So there's that. He says Jesus took scripture out of context. Says that God is both male and female. He made up a story about how God restored thousands of women's virginity, of course with no proof. He's part of the ecumenical movement and has all sorts of good things to say about the previous pope. He says that we can co-create with God. He's another one charging money to learn prophecy, and also teaches the unbiblical idea that we can work with angels. And we've got video after video exposing all the other crazy, unbiblical things he believes and teaches. So why anyone would continue to be taught by this guy is a mystery. But today's 4-minute clip is just one more example of the foolishness that some people are believing is prophecy.
And so now I've been on this journey, and I feel like the Lord is, I feel like we're in this, in the first two years of I feel like the Lord gave me an 8-year prophetic word. The first 4 years he said would be, he called it the righteous revolution. There'd be a righteous revolution where you make the crooked places straight and rough places smooth, and I didn't know it would include us. But anyway, we'll just move right on from that comment. And then the Lord said, the next 4 years would be called a righteous, that we'd be in the middle of a righteous reformation. And the Lord said, I'm bringing the kings to help you. The kings are coming to help you. And so I've just been like, the Lord's joining the prophets, the priests, and the kings. And I've been preaching like the Lord is joining the prophets, the priests, and the kings. And I've been carrying this word, and the Lord told me, this is a couple of years ago, this is during this whole, you ever get on a prophetic journey that's more than a word? Like it's a season, right? Like a word opens up a season, and then you're like, I'm learning things. And the Lord said, make a place for my kings. And I'm like, who are they, and how do I do that? And he showed me lots of different kings, but one of the kings, he told me that, he said, I want you to make a place for CEOs and business people who have large companies, because my kings have no place to belong. And he was weeping over the kings. And we reach out to the poor. I grew up with poor. We ministered to the poor all of our lives. We had, in the 20 years we lived in Weirville, 17 of those years people lived with us, poor people lived with us. We have a huge ministry to the poor. Kathy and I, we've been to Africa, I don't know how many times. I was on Heidi Baker's board for 8 years, and that woman's crazy. Anyway, you guys know Heidi Baker? Oh, yeah. That woman, she loves God a lot. But so I've been to Africa many times, and we're part of orphanages, building and helping to fund orphanages, and we love the poor. But the Lord was weeping over I know it sounds crazy, but he was weeping over the powerful. And he said to me, the kings have no place to belong. The kings bring their money, but they don't belong anywhere. And so the short story is we started something called Regis, and it was, let's experiment. So we had a summit, and we invited these people to come, and we charged $7,000 for the Lord's like, I want you to do this will attract certain kind of people, and all of a sudden we had all these people come, 50 people came, and we had this, it's been a journey. So that was 2 years ago, and we started a network for these people, and it's been wonderful and beautiful, but I feel like this is a part of our mandate to make disciples of nations. And we have, it's interesting to me that And I'll talk more about it in a few minutes, but the Lord gave us a mandate to make not just disciples in nations, but make disciples of nations. And interesting to me that how many nations are being discipled by Christians right now? I point out 0. How many nations are being discipled by Muslims? I bet you it's more than 20. And that's not because they're more capable. It's because they have a vision and a strategy.
My friends, if anyone believes all that mumbling to be prophecy, then God help you. I think Kris has now reached the Kat Kerr level of storytelling and how often God talks directly to him. Please, if you do support Kris, realize that he's one of the people God's warned us of in the Bible. A wolf in sheep's clothing. He looks like, talks like, and acts like a Christian, but it's just a show. A wolf is a wolf, and it doesn't matter what kind of holy costume they put on. It's kind of like when Jesus rebuked the Pharisees. He commented on how they appeared beautiful on the outside, but inside they were hypocrites and full of uncleanness. And in one sense, that's what we're seeing with all these false teachers today. Anyhow, that's where we're going to leave this for today. But as always, feel free to leave your comments below. And until next time, take care and God bless.